Hello students, hope you are having a good day. The title of our lecture today is Dramatic Devices in the Tempest. So we will define each device, okay, and we will discuss and examine it in the play. So we are having definitions and examples for each device. Let's start our lecture. Okay, so our first device is Soliloquy, which is actually a long speech spoken by a single character that's not intended to be heard by another character in the play. So it is where a character on stage and alone reveals his thoughts to the audience. Okay, and actually we don't have many soliloquies in the Tempest because it is not a tragedy, okay, as the dramatic scenes in the play are enough to give accurate information to the audience. But we do have a few soliloquies, okay, and that is when Prospero in scene 5, act 1, at the end of the play is telling the audience that he is giving up his magic. Okay, so now we are having a side, which is a dramatic device in which a character speaks to the audience. Okay, and the difference between the asides and the soliloquy is that in the soliloquy, the character is giving a long speech to him or herself. Okay, while in the aside, it is typically very short, okay, and it is addressing to the audience. So it is a stage direction which playwrights use to allow characters to address the audience without the other characters noticing. And actually, it suggests that there is some form of conspiracy, deceit, or mocking in the scene, okay? And we are having an example of the asides in Act 3, Scene 1, when Prospero said, "Poor worm, thou art infected." And actually, he is in this sentence, he's talking about his daughter. Okay, when Miranda is talking to Ferdinand, and she offers her help, okay, and actually Ferdinand refused to accept that because he considered it as a dishonor, and that's why Prospero said that, okay, in order to show the audience that he has planned this event, okay, that Ferdinand loves is because of the Prospero's magic. Okay, so he said the sentence without the observation of his daughter Miranda. Okay, so now we are having personification, which is defined as a literary device that assigns human qualities and attributes to objects or other non-human things. So it is the attribution of a personal nature or human characteristics to something non-human, okay? Or the representation of an abstract quality in a human form. So that's why it involves giving inanimate items human feelings or attributes. And actually you can find it in Act 2, Scene 1, when Prospero uses personification, okay, in order to show that these words or these abstract meaning are very important in the life of the people. For example, as you can see in these words, fortune, destiny, time, mercy, and patience. You can see the capital letter of the of each word, okay? And so the use of the capitalization suggests that they are very important, okay? And make them appear human. Okay, so now we are having hyphen, okay, which is actually a punctuation mark that's used to join words and to separate syllables of a single word. Actually, Shakespeare uses it in the Tempest in order to challenge the imagination, which creates vivid images, okay, and supports the idea that the play is full of improbable and fantastical events, okay. So let us take some examples or some of these phrases that are easily imagined and accessible to the audience to understand, such as sea nymphs and the fresh brook, whilst others sight out running. Uh, Although some words are difficult to imagine, yet still vividly powerful, okay? So it's actually this instability to cement the image suggests that the island is full of wonder and ever-changing reality, which is a constant theme throughout the play. So it is very easy, it is related to the words, okay, and how Shakespeare used two words in order to create an image, okay, or to challenge the imaginations of the audience. Okay, so now we're having a petition, which is actually available in the play, and we are having many of the lines in the play use repetition. For example, in Act 1, Scene 1, we split, as you can see, and the second repetition in the songs of Ariel, okay, or Ariel's songs in Act 1, Scene 2. And actually, this repetition functions to entertain the audience through their hyphenatic sounds and also suggests that the island is extremely magical. Okay, so now let us study the structure of the play. Actually, I think verse and prose changed, okay, and we will examine it in the play. Actually, the verse of the Tempest is usually written in iambic pentameter, okay, but not in a traditional manner. So Shakespeare often adds extra syllables to his lines and varies the rhythm, which suggests that the play is subverting tradition, which can also be seen through the themes of the play, which challenge social hierarchy, okay? And the play's lines are not end stopped, okay? It's the line during the mask are, which is used to show that the event is extremely formal. On the other hand, we are having prose, okay, which is spoken by low status and comic characters, okay, such as the servants, okay, whereas the high status characters spoke in verse. And we can see this through Prospero's speech, okay, verse, and Stefanio and Trancolo's speech, prose. And however, Shakespeare disregards this rule when it comes to the character of Caliban, who although has a low status as a servant, speaks in verse and even is responsible for some of the most beautiful poetry in the play. Okay, so we are having both types, and actually this may suggest that Shakespeare is commenting on the Australian view of low status people, and that the civilization should change their views to treat natives as equals. Okay. Okay, so now we are having the structure of the play. Okay, and actually it is we have a chronological order. Why? Because the events take place within a few hours, and the play has a clear beginning, clear middle, with the climax, okay, and the end of the play. And this allows the audience to engage fully with the play as they are present for the majority of the events. And even the events that they don't see are fully explained by the characters in the other scenes, okay? So that's why the clear five-act structure, which was common at the time of Elizabethan theatre, gives the play coherence, okay, which also helps the audience to comprehend the events and the characters. So, as you know, the first act is the exposition, okay? It sets the scene, okay? Express the problem and introduce the main characters. And the second act is the complication, okay, where is uh, conflict is developed, okay, and in which we can see, for example, Antonio and Sebastian plot to call Alonso, and Caliban, Stefano, and Trancolo appear, okay, and Act 3 is the climax of the play, where Miranda and Ferdinand develop their love, and the plot to call Prospero is created. And in the fourth act is the falling action, okay, which begins the resolution, and the fifth act is the conclusion of the play, where Prospero resolves his problems. And now we will talk about the imagery in the Tempest, which is used to conjure a vivid image which tracks the audience's imaginations and emotionally involve them in the play. And when the play was first written, it was not performed with elaborate sets or costumes, which meant that the audience were depends upon their imagination when watching the play. So Shakespeare has used much imagery to provide the audience with most basically entertainment insights into the nature of each character and dramatic impact. Okay, and one example of imagery in the play is when Prospero is telling Miranda about how they came to inhabit the island. As you can see in this sentence, okay? So Shakespeare actually uses the image of the sea and the wind along with the personification and other dramatic device in order to make it very clear to the audience. Another thing, which is that the thunder and lightning that's used to make Ariel's entrance during the harpy scene, and which is much more dramatic and powerful as the sound creates fear and shocks the audience. Okay, that's it for our lecture today. Hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much for your attendance, your listening, and have a good day.